I'm from a Vikings-Bears game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Chicago. Bears, of course. Anyway, it is 6:43 right now, and we have a couple of experts talking about football around here. Since we don't have any of the NFL teams here, we do have high school, we do have college, and that is the reason that we bring in Tony Anzeni and Larry Kotler here to talk football on Fridays now. And Mr. Kotman, thank you very much for doing the pep rallies for the last couple of days. We're going to be doing that all season long.
Hey, that's fun, you know, and it was great to have the the strong women to come in and do that, and do a cheer at 6 o'clock in the morning.
It's hard to do.
That is great. We're going to do that every week. We're going to get a matchup between two high school teams, and one representative will come in on Thursday, the other will come in on Friday, and so we'll do that. So, but you're going to be handling college duties here in this segment of the program. So high school duties, we turn to our high school expert, Tony Anzeni, and you have a different shirt on this year.
Yes, I'll be with the Central Iowa Sports Network. We do live audio and also streaming and audio games, 4 or 5 games every week here in Central Iowa. So I'll be fortunate to be at most of the Ankeny or Ankeny Centennial game, whoever's playing home at that field for the Central Iowa Sports Network. You can go to CISN.TV to check out all our games each week. So there's 4 games listed this week. 2 of them are audio, 2 of them are streaming audio. So I go to CISN.TV to get all the updates of where we're going to be each and every Friday night here in Central Iowa.
Now, what does streaming audio mean for those people?
Well, it'll be audio only as far as 2 of the games, and the other ones you'll also have the video
plus support it too.
Yes.
All right, that's cool. So you can see what's going on.
Yes.
All right. So that's the new home for high school football.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be working it pretty hard out there here in Central Iowa, and I feel fortunate to be able to stay in this thing. And you know, my true love never was doing the shows, although it was very fun to do with all the group of guys that we had in the past, and to be able to cover the whole state of Iowa. But my passion has always been play-by-play, so now I get to get the rust off and do some play-by-play.
That is awesome. We're looking forward to that, man. That's going to be cool hearing you. It's all right. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the games.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of the audio games. Will be Dowling Catholic at Cedar Rapids Xavier. That'll be out in the eastern part of the state, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot more wet than it is here in Central Iowa by that time.
That's true.
But, Xavier, always one of those teams out east that they're always defensively minded. They're always one of those teams that vie for a state championship bid, and whether they were in Class 3A or 4A, and Battle of Catholic Schools. Dowling Catholic, the defending state champions in Class 4A, so should be a good, interesting, and without the quarterback Ryan Boyle now at the University of Iowa. Yeah, but Dowling reloads, okay? So we'll find out if the Maroons are going to be viable. Everybody thinks Valley's the team to beat this year, and we'll find out. Week 1, they play Waukee, another of our games. That will be the game of the week on the Central Iowa Sports Network. And also the Southeast Polk and Johnston game will be the other one that you can watch the video and audio stream of the game. So another couple teams to watch for this week. The other one's the game I'll have, Ames at Ankeny Centennial. It's going to be interesting. Not sure about, I know Ames can throw the football, but with the wet pigskin, that could change things a little bit. They also have a pretty good running. Offensively, they're always fun to watch, but they'll have to outscore teams a lot of the years. And Ankeny Centennial, they've got some changes. A lot of young kids are going to have to step up here in the early part of the season to see how they perform. So it's kind of a game that I don't even know what's going to possibly happen tonight in the little homework I've done on that. So it's going to be fun to watch. Week 1 is always get your feet wet, get all those kids in the ball game.
And they will get their feet wet.
And then see exactly where you stand and what improvements you need to make. Because, you know, right now with the format in the final year of high school, as far as the 4 teams in each district making the playoffs next year, it'll be cut in half. So if, you know, these games, these non-district games that are in weeks 1 through 4 or 1 through 5, they don't mean anything as far as getting to the playoffs. It's what you do in your district play that means a lot. So these are the games you get out there, you play some good competition, find out where you're at, and make that run for the end of the season.
So it's the tune-up games, so to speak.
Yes, basically. I mean, they don't count toward the playoffs. It's when you get into the district play and all the classes that count for your playoffs. So.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And speaking of Ames, I just found out, you know, we have all the renovations going on at Jack Trice Stadium. They have a brand new scoreboard that is absolutely phenomenal. But the old scoreboard that was at Jack Trice Stadium, guess where it ended up?
Oh.
ended up in Ames.
Ames High School.
Oh, he did.
Ames High School, yes.
Very nice.
So we're going to
Nice.
go check that out coming up next week.
And this year, Indianola's playing in their own field. They're no longer at Buxton Stadium,
Oh,
sharing
really?
that with Simpson, and I've heard that's a pretty nice little facility. And they already had it set up at the field. They were playing games there, but no bleachers and all the accommodations were there. Now that's all set up, and I heard a video board's going up in that place too. So Blakesville is going to be in pretty good shape up there in Indianola again this year with their own football field now as well. So changes all around the state.
All right, so that gets us set for the most part when it comes to high school. Mr. Kotler, what's going on collegiately?
Well, collegiately, the only thing that's happening this weekend as far as Central Iowa teams are concerned, or teams we talk about, is Grandview. You know, we mentioned it with Brian Woodley, that his father, Mike. And one thing I was talking with Mike yesterday, and I said, you're in that position now where you don't rebuild, you reload. Remember how Hayden Fry used to talk about that back in the 80s? Because that's what they do right now at Grandview. Now, the other thing is they're in a new conference. It's the Heart Conference. It's called, let me see if I can get the official name, Heart of America Conference.
Okay.
So they moved. And one of the things that Mike Woodley told me is that the unfortunate thing about that is they don't play Drake anymore.
Oh, no.
No. So they open up against Baker, Kansas tomorrow. But they don't have Drake on the schedule anymore, which is too bad because that's really been a good rivalry the last couple of years.
Fun game, yeah.
It was. And Grandview won the last couple of years. Drake won the first few years. So that's been a good rivalry. But other than that, they're playing different teams. They don't have as daunting a schedule in terms of top to bottom that they had before in the sense of their conference. Their conference was really top heavy before, and now this one is a little more, it's still a good conference, but it's a little more balanced.
Okay. I
So
didn't
you
know
think they
that.
should do okay?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's talking to Mike Woodley, like I said, it's more of a case like, yeah, we're going to be good, but you know, coaches are always cautious this time of year. I was talking to Mark Farley yesterday, but Northern Iowa, and I said, well, you ready to go? He says, well, not really, but no coaches are ever ready to go, and Tony knows this. They're never quite ready. You know, they could always use a little more practice.
Right.
But they're going to be good. Drake's going to be good. Grandview's going to be good. I think they're all going to be very good football teams this year.
Yep, and I went and I was visiting with Coach Paul Rhodes on Wednesday, and I got his analysis of both the defense and the offense. Not like Paul is never, you know, not pumped up.
Sure.
But he is hyper pumped up, especially by having a quarterback that is as comfortable as Sam is right now.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, while we were there getting set up, Jason, Sam just walks in with flip-flops and shorts, goes, hey, Coach. And I mean, that's open door policy there. That's how relaxed they are at Iowa State. And the new section, the new end zone area is absolutely amazing.
They're going to need good offensive line play, though. They've got to find a way to run the football. They've got new guys running the ball.
And he told us about that, too.
Yeah.
He says, yes, we do have an answer to that.
Good.
And that's a good thing for Cyclone fans, which is very cool. And they have a secret weapon, too.
They do.
Yes, they
He
have
didn't tell you what that was?
he said if he did, it wouldn't be a secret anymore.
Exactly.
But I already know what the secret weapon is, and I'm going to tell everybody right now.
Okay.
His dad comes out there. His dad, I think, is 88 years old, and still comes out a couple times a week and checks out and gives them some tips, some pointers. His dad's in the Hall of Fame,
Sure he
coaching
is.
for crying out
Yeah,
loud.
Cecil.
So he got that ace in the hole. So that's pretty good for the Cyclones.
So, you know, again, it's going to be tough for the Cyclones. Obviously, they didn't win a game last year in the conference. They've got to find a way to crack through there. But, hey, you know, you only can play them. Now, but you know what? Their first game, to me, is critical. Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
You've got to beat Northern Iowa. Even though Northern Iowa's a very good football team, a Big 12 team is always expected to beat a team like Northern Iowa. You've got to get off to a good start. And he knows that. I mean, this isn't brain surgery here.
Right.
They know that.
And there were some other things we were talking about of all the teams in Iowa, who do you think has the best chance of seriously going 4-0 at the beginning of the season? And it sounds like the majority of people said the one that really has a chance of doing so would be the Cyclones.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be rough.
It'll be
but
tough.
they have
It'll
a
be
chance.
tough. Yeah, they have a chance to do that.
And if they do that, who knows what's going to happen?
Right, and then I know you showed some Northern Iowa clips. I was talking to Mark Farley. He said, we play number 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, and a Big 12 team in the first 5 games.
That's a rough
I
schedule.
mean, they have the gauntlet in the first 5 games.
But then they get it out of the way.
That's true. And they're battling 4 quarterbacks for the number 1 spot right now.
Wow. That's
Did we even mention the Hawkeyes?
No.
And I think everybody's underestimating them a little. If you've listened to Kurt Ferentz talk, it's usually coach speak, but there's a couple of interviews I've seen that he put himself out there a little bit talking about his Hawk season. I think they're going to surprise teams and have one of those nice 8, 9, 10, maybe up to, you know, because their schedule, quite frankly, isn't that strong. And
Yeah, but we heard that last year, too.
Exactly. But, I mean, I think last year, I tell you what, 2 quarterback systems don't work.
That's true.
You can't flip coins every game and wonder. Now that you're stuck with a quarterback, the team will really rally behind that quarterback because they want to win too, just like that. But when you have two different quarterbacks, that splits your team up as much as it makes you better. I mean, I don't think it ever. I haven't seen very many times where that's worked. So I'm glad that they've got their quarterback and they're going to go with it. And I think that'll make a big difference in what's happening in Iowa offensively.
And I agree with you on that sense. Now, obviously, Beathard has to stay healthy, but that's something you can't really control. They've got to find a way to run the ball better too, and they've got to. Their problem has been speed. They haven't had any breakaway players, and they've got to find a way to. They've got to find a way to get open. You know, when they in the passing game, they've got to find a way to open up this offense a little bit.
Because they've got a guy who can throw it a long way.
They've got a guy who can throw it a long way.
Yeah.
But, you know, I remember back in the 80s, a guy by the name of Dan McGuire. You've probably heard of his brother, Mark? A little bit.
Every now and then.
They talk about Dan McGuire. Well, he can throw the ball 50 yards, but how many 50-yard passes do you throw in a game?
Not very many.
Yeah, maybe one.
Well, you hope you don't, because
those passes are usually there to set up the under.
Exactly.
You want to make sure they stay honest with you, and that's what they use those for. And if you burn them, that's a plus. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting watching, and both coaches, Iowa and Iowa State, know that there's a little bit of pressure now. The seat's a little warm now.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got to get it going, but they'll start next weekend.
All right, so next weekend, but this weekend, Grandview's playing, right?
Grandview's playing Baker. I believe that's, I want to say 11 a.m.
All right.
Check your local listing.
Check local listings.
And then, Tony, your game is what time?
Well, it's 7 o'clock kickoffs around most of the places. Sometimes it'll be 7:30, but go to CISN.tv. Check out the website. It'll show the games and the start times for all those games. We have 4 games again tonight on CISN.tv, and every Friday night is 4 to 6 games that'll be on there.
Will I be able to watch it on my phone?
My game you won't. You'll be able to hear my voice, but if you want the audios, it'll be Johnston at Southeast Polk. I mean the video
Videos,
part, and Waukee at Valley. Those will be the 2 games. It'll be video and audio.